Good morning, students. In the earlier two lectures, we have seen the first part of the quantity theory of money, whereby we have seen the Fisher's approach. Now, in this particular video, we are going to see the second approach of the quantity theory of money. This second approach is known as the Cambridge equation or Cambridge cash balance approach. Cambridge equation or Cambridge cash balance approach, basically this particular approach became more famous in the 20th century by the Cambridge economist, whereby we will see the contribution of the Marshall, Robertson, Pigou and Keynes is more. In this approach, basically the more focus is on the function of money, and that is on the cash, that is the store function of the money, rather than the focus of the exchange function. Exchange function was basically more emphasized in the Fisher's equation, but the Cambridge economist focused more on the store of value function of the money rather than the exchange function. That's why this approach, where the more focus is on the store of value function of the money, that's why this approach is known as the cash balance approach, Cambridge cash balance approach. Now in this particular approach, we will see the contribution of Marshall, Robbins, Keynes and the Robinson. All these economists had given their equations, and their equations is here. Their equation is here. Now see, every economist focused on the same aspect of the money, that is the price level, the P is decided, and the value of money, the quantity of money supply and the price level. Similarly, the value of money and the quantity of supply. All these economists also focused on the same relationship, but the way of representation is different in the form of the different equations. Now see, the first contribution is here in the form of the Marshall equation, whereby the Marshall gave his equation, that is M is equals to KP1, whereby in this equation M is what? M is the quantity of money which is supplied in the economy. Here the quantity of money is in both the form, that is in the currency as well as the demand deposit which is available with the bank. The second is the P. P is nothing but the price level, and Y is actually the aggregate real income, and the K is the proportion of that aggregate real income which the people want to keep with them in the form of the cash. So this equation is here. The price level is decided by the money supply, and the money supply price level will be decided by the money supply, which is divided by the aggregate real income and the proportion of the income, real income, which is held by the people in the form of the cash, that is P is equals to M divided by KY. Students, please focus here. Different economists have had given the different different equations, but in all the equations the basic purpose is the price level and the value of money. The different economists referred the different variables. As you can see here, M and P will remain the common, but Marshall used the variable Y and the K. Similarly, in the Pigou equation, you will find R is the variable, and in the Robertson equation, you will find that T is the variable. Similarly, the Keynes equation, you have seen, you can see here the N here. So basically, the gist of all the equation is the same, only the variable has changed. Now, the P2 represent the same equation in this form, that is P is equals to KR divided by M, whereby P is nothing but the price level, or 1 by P is the value of money, and the M is the supply of money, or the quantity of money supplied in the economy. R is the total national income. As you can see here, Y is focused in the Marshall equation, that is the aggregate real income, and here in the PICO equation, R is used instead of Y for the total national income, and K is nothing but the fraction of that portion of the national income which is normally kept by the people in the form of the cash, that is they keep for the storage purpose. So the PICO equation is P is equals to KR divided by M. Now see, Robertson also gave his equation. His equation is M is equals to PKT, or P is equals to M, which is divided by KT. So as you can see, P is the price level, T is the total amount of goods, or which we can say total amount of goods which we can demand with the total amount of income, and K is the fraction of the T. K is the fraction of the T. As you can see in the PICO's equation, K is the fraction of the R. Here, K is the fraction of the T. T is nothing but the real national income, or aggregate real income, or here it is the total amount of goods which is demanded in the economy. And Keynes later on given his equation, and Keynes equation is P is equals to N by K, and later on he added R dash K1. R dash K1 is nothing but the money which is in the form of the demand deposit in the bank, and R is basically the cash reserve ratio of the bank, and K is the real balance held in the form of the bank money. So as you can see in the Cambridge equation, the basic fundamental thing is explained the same, that is the P, that is the price level, and 1 by P, the value of money. As far as its criticism is concerned, it is mere truism. Mere truism, that is, this is nothing a separate form of a theory. Basically, it is just an equation which is given, the demand and the supply. Demand of the money and the supply of money. So it's a mere truism. Other criticism we will see in the next video. Thank you. Dikshit sir.